Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. In one of my recent community posts, I actually asked you, what kind of video style do you like? And to my real surprise, actually most of you, the majority, chose authentic and less edited over highly edited and scripted. And I was really surprised because I thought on YouTube people want all these special effects and edits, and it really takes me hours to edit the video together. And while I'll continue to do so for tutorials and certain topics where I think it's relevant and can really compress the information, I do want to obviously listen to you and want to give it a go. So once in a while I actually will upload some kind of videos that's going to be more authentic, that's going to be more like me just speaking and sharing some thoughts with you. Yeah, I hope you like it. If you do, please either way let me know in the comments. Maybe you don't like it at all, but I think I definitely want to do more of these. I'm also considering live streaming in the future. And before we go ahead, please do me a huge favor. We're finally approaching the 1,000 subscriber mark after almost 1 year, so I'm really excited to get this milestone done. It really took a long time and a lot of videos and input and sweat and tears and what have you, but yeah, thank you so much for all of you who subscribed already. If you haven't, please, it means the world to me. If you gently hit that subscribe button and like the video, it helps out a lot. Right, so the first thing to talk about, of course, I was thinking, should I bring it up or not? Because obviously this is a financial channel and not a political channel, but nevertheless, I wanted to at least acknowledge the situation that's going on in the world right now. Because actually myself, I'm based in Lithuania, which is part of Eastern Europe. Actually for myself also, it's one thing when you read it, when you're overseas and you read about certain conflict, you might get upset, etc. But if it's on another continent, it doesn't really affect you the same way if there's something happening that's right next to you. And literally, we talk about Belarus, just a couple of kilometers away from us, and Ukraine is really not far. I think it's 200 kilometers to Ukraine from Lithuania. So, the Baltic countries are really quite sensitive and have been in the past. It used to be part of Soviet Union. So it really affects me on an emotional level, even though I'm a German. So definitely something that is on your mind. And I almost feel bad talking about investing and getting the best deals, because right now I prefer really raising awareness for the conflict that's happening and helping those in need. Sadly, my YouTube channel is not yet monetized. Otherwise, I would definitely make sure to send all the proceeds of this video to those in need, but hopefully that will happen soon. But anyways, from my side already, I sent my donation. And again, I don't want to make it a political discussion here, but I send it to the country that is being attacked basically and defends itself. And I think that's the least we can do to support them. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, but just wanted to raise the awareness, because I think not saying anything or looking away is also not helping. So of course, everyone has their own opinion, but from my side, I feel deeply humbled and grateful to be living in a democratic and open and safe environment that is Europe and many parts of the Western world. And I think we have to really appreciate it. And at the same time, I'm sending all my thoughts and prayers to the people defending the country. Right, now moving along, what else is happening? So obviously one of the biggest factors we all have been facing for quite some time the last few weeks, and now even more so, it's going to be inflation, right? I mean, we've seen this, we read about this. I personally think it's only going to get higher, because this conflict probably even led to higher inflation rates in the future. There's going to be more supply shortages, global logistics and flying and traveling is going to be harder. And of course, gas prices, Russia is sitting on huge gas supplies, etc. So by not having those exported to countries that need it, it's going to get even more expensive. And I think consumers and companies alike will feel it. And of course, companies will pass on the inflation to the consumer. Consumer want to have higher salaries. And again, companies paying higher salaries need to raise the prices. It's going to be a sort of self-fulfilling negative pricing spiral, so to say. I really don't see this dropping anytime soon. And without going into too much the economic reasons why that happens and who's in control and what can be done against it, I think we need to realize that and not get scared of it, but once again, understand the importance of investing. Imagine you put your hard-earned money, your savings, let it be, depending on what age you are and what stage of your career, let it be 100,000, which is really a significant amount. If you have that money sitting in your bank account, maybe for retirement, maybe about to buy a house, whatever it is, at 100,000, let's say an inflation, again, depending on which publication you read, depending on where you are in the world, can range anywhere from 6 to 12 to 14%. So let's take 10%. So if you have an inflation of 10%, that means your money is losing value 10% every single year, probably even faster because inflation is accelerating going forward. That means your 100,000 at the end of the year is actually only worth 90,000. So your purchasing power consistently reduces. So if you don't find a way to create a higher return on your money than 10%, then effectively what you're doing is you're losing money, you're burning through your cash. I mean, if that goes on, you're making less with your money than you're burning through with inflation, you're literally getting poorer by the day, and that's a scary part, right? And while there is no perfect solution to that problem, I think one of the best option you have is to really start investing. And I mean smart investing. Obviously, the whole channel is called Smart Money with Kai, so we're all about smart investing and not YOLOing your money into the next meme coin or Reddit stock. That's not really what we're here for. So obviously in this channel, I don't want to tell you which stocks and so on to buy. I can only give you ideas and share with you what I'm doing, but you obviously have to make your own decision. So for myself, what I've done in the last few weeks, and definitely will continue doing much more so going forward, are three things. The number one is moving away from stocks and going into ETFs. Now, so when I started, I only started with individual stocks because I loved, reading the news that are happening and finding my right stocks. And if that stock went up, I felt so smart and like such a good investor. And it's an amazing feeling. And I'm not saying I will never ever invest into individual stocks, just I feel really right now and in recent weeks, basically since the beginning of the year, it became increasingly hard to really differentiate between great stocks and not so good stocks, because stocks that should be doing well, that have all the fundamentals behind them, so much growth potential, just get dragged for no understandable reasons. Even companies that achieved higher reports and earnings than they forecasted themselves still took a huge dip in the market. So personally, I like to invest and read and learn about stocks, but if in the end there are factors that are beyond anyone's understanding, then for me it really becomes like a gamble, or at least a game that I cannot seem to be winning consistently over time. As I said, I'm a long-term investor. I don't need a 50% return in a given year. It's great if it happens, but I'm fine with anywhere between 8 to 12% over the year consistently. I'll be more than happy with that. And that's why going forward, I will definitely continue more investing into an ETF. I invest into the S&P 500 by Vanguard, which is an amazing ETF that actually pays me a quarterly dividend as well. But there are so many options out there, and I will make future videos on this as well, which one to choose. But personally, I like that one very much. And again, there I have all the Apples, the Starbucks, the Microsoft, the Metas of the world. All of the big stocks are part of this as well. So I'm investing into the market rather than picking the winning horse, so to say, because you and I will compete with some of the smartest people on Wall Street that do nothing else day in, day out than trying to find their winners. It might seem like a conventional or boring move, but I will definitely continue investing into the ETF S&P 500. Secondly, and you heard me say this before, I will continue every month buying cryptocurrency. And in past videos, I spoke about a couple of my positions that I had, but going forward, I have actually started changing my thinking a little bit. One of the books that really helped me on that is the Bitcoin Standard, which I really, really recommend you to read. I'll leave a link in the description below. And it really goes deep on the benefits of Bitcoin. And it was the first and still is the biggest cryptocurrency out there. And it has so many amazing properties to it and values and benefits that make more and more sense to me. It really is more than just a store of value. It's actually considered property in many countries. And for example, in Germany and other countries, if you hold it for longer than a year, you can sell it without any capital gain tax or income tax. It's basically tax-free. So imagine if 10 years from now, Bitcoin 10x's, you would be paying huge taxes if that was taxed as per your income tax or even capital gains tax. So really, I believe in the long-term gain of Bitcoin. Recently, of course, it has been taking a dip as well, like so many assets. But I think long-term, it has so many values and properties that I'm becoming more and more a Bitcoin maximalist, as they say, somebody that really only focuses onto Bitcoin. And I almost see it like an ETF, because it's interesting. Over the years, the more established a coin gets, even the top 10 coins in the world, eventually they start following the Bitcoin, right? So, and not only that, by staking my Bitcoins on crypto.com, for example, I'm getting 6.5% interest per year on my cryptos paid to me every 7 days. And that's amazing. That's like passive income from my cryptocurrencies. And long term, I will definitely focus mostly on Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, and of course Kronos coin, which is the crypto.com native platform coin, because you need this to interact and get the staking rewards through crypto.com. And as I do believe the platform will only grow more and more in the future, I'm really happy with the ecosystem, and it's for me kind of the utility token that I use to transact and basically do certain things on the platform. But I think these three are going to be my main crypto holdings in the future. And lastly, that's something I started just recently, and that's peer-to-peer lending. And I really want to get more and more into this. You basically become the bank, and not only can get financial reward by lending your money to others, but you're actually helping real people, right? I mean, depends on which platforms you go to, and I'm planning to make a video on reviewing different platforms. But for example, there's platforms that help people to build their house. So they, for whatever reason, don't get a mortgage or loan from the bank. to finance the house. And by lending and going through such platforms, you can in a way contribute to help them build their house. And I mean, that's a great feeling. They're happy, you're happy. It's a great opportunity to make some money. I personally use the Bondora platform, and I'll leave a link in the description below. It's an amazing tool that basically allows you to invest money. It auto invests it into different loans. You don't have to do nothing, and you're gonna get a 6.75% guaranteed interest rate over the year. So that's annualized, paid to you daily. So literally every day you're gonna get some money paid from them. And that's amazing. Obviously, when you start with small amounts at just a couple of cents, but over time as your portfolio grows, that can really get into significant money. And the best part is you can withdraw the money on a daily basis. So if whatever happens tomorrow, you decide you need this money to, I don't know, buy a new house or buy a new car or what have you, you can withdraw all the money and just invest it. There's no penalty. It's right there, and really amazing platform. And I will definitely want to focus on building this more in the future and to just, diversify away, because, cryptos may dip, stocks may dip, but I think this is fairly consistent. Of course, nothing is risk-free. They might also collapse, who knows? But over the last 10 years, they're doing extremely well. They're building up a strong reserve fund. So even if something happens, some loan defaults, they will be able to jump in and pay for that. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm going to be doing in these difficult times. It may not be perfect, but I think that works for me. And definitely a strategy I can get on board with. I don't have to spend hours and hours to research. It works, it gives me a good return. Let me know what you think about this. If you made it this far into the video, then I really appreciate you for listening to me for so long. So leave the word double espresso in the comments, and then I know that you made it this far. And also please let me know how you like this new format. I'm planning to do more of this, but don't worry, at the same time, I will continue doing tutorials and review certain apps and financial products out there. Next up, you can check out the video over here. And in the meantime, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.